Now, workers were not out here today, but community members still wanted to show their resistance. They tied hundreds of these red ribbons all across the fences surrounding the site to show Spectra that they are not giving up the fight. And although the Red Sox did not win today, the energy could still be felt and heard as spectators cheer on the runners as they make their way along the last mile towards the finish line. Glow is one of more than 90 hair salons participating in the event this year. In the past 6 years, salons have raised more than $850,000 for Boston Children's Hospital. An estimated 2,000 commuters depend on the Mattapan trolley daily, and some say replacing this historic ride with buses like this one will be inconvenient to their everyday commute. The battle is not over here outside of the Verizon headquarters in downtown Boston. As you can see, for the past 2 weeks, Verizon employees have been picketing here and at other Verizon store locations. They want to show the company that they will not put up with what they say is corporate greed. You could barely make out the words on the overpass right behind me, but on Marathon Monday, 30,000 runners will be greeted with this Boston Strong banner as they cross Commonwealth Avenue towards the finish line. That's right, Casey. This new assessment raises concerns for parents who believe their children are being over-tested, but the state's Board of Elementary and Secondary Education believe now is the time for the next generation of standardized testing. Many have probably never heard of it, but thousands of commuters depend on it daily. The Mattapan high-speed line has been around since the Depression era, and MBTA officials say the 10 presidential conference cars are reaching the end of their life. The historic trolleys have been running from Mattapan Station through Milton to Ashmont and back daily for almost 90 years, and when the aging trolleys break down, maintenance crews have to reach out to railroad museums for parts. But although they've been around since the stock market crash of 1929, riders still prefer to take the ride in these old trolleys. An estimated 2,000 commuters depend on the Mattapan trolley daily, and some say replacing this historic ride with buses like this one will be inconvenient to their everyday commute.
That saves a lot of time for people going here and there. So I think it's important for the trolley to be here. Much more efficient than the buses.
MBTA officials discussed paving over the tracks and replacing them with shuttle buses. Elected officials are not on track with the idea. Last month, Boston City Councilors, state representatives, and Milton selectmen wrote letters to the MBTA objecting to shuttle or electric buses. Residents and officials are not only concerned about convenience and the historic nature of the trolley, but also the impact on property values and the environmental issues if buses were to replace the trolleys. One Milton resident said he'd prefer the 90-year-old trolley cars to be updated.
I know I read about it in the paper that they had new ones, but I think I saw it once, 2 years ago on New Year's Eve. I rode one 2 years ago, but I haven't seen one since. Where are they?
The MBTA is waiting for an engineer's report evaluating whether the trolleys are worth saving. The report is due this summer, and the public will be invited to comment before final decisions are made. The battle is not over here outside of the Verizon headquarters in downtown Boston. As you can see, for the past 2 weeks, Verizon employees have been picketing here and at other Verizon store locations. They want to show the company that they will not put up with what they say is corporate greed. For the past 2 weeks, Verizon communication workers have been walking the picket line. These workers outside the Verizon headquarters in Boston are part of a massive strike. Their contract expired in August, and now almost 40,000 East Coast Union members have walked out of their jobs and onto the sidewalk. One of the biggest concerns for employees, job security.
It seems like American jobs more and more every year go overseas, and I'm here fighting for my job.
Employees say not only does Verizon want to ship jobs overseas, but they also want to be able to move members to other states along the East Coast for up to 2 months at a time.
If the company were hurting financially, we'd be flexible and willing to work with them. But the bottom line is the company is making $1 billion to $1.5 billion a month in profit.
We want respect for the middle class and what they've done for this company. Company that's making as much money as them. We built that network. We maintain that network.
The strikers represent customer service employees, repairmen, and other service workers. Their concerns? Fair contracts and health care benefits, not only for their current employees, but also retired members of the union.
We literally have retired members who are making a decision between paying for health insurance and paying their rent, and that's just wrong.
And now Verizon has issued a statement that as of May 1st, they will cut off all benefits to their employees.
It goes to get the company to go back to the bargaining table and to seriously bargain for an equitable contract to be fair on both sides.
Now, employees say they don't know how long it will take to get fair contracts, but they're willing to stand out here as long as it takes. Live in downtown Boston, I'm Jeanette Origel, Suffolk News.
If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down.
Rain did not stand in the way for these residents. A cause they believe in: stop the pipeline. A rally in West Roxbury brought out hundreds of anti-pipeline protesters. On Saturday, they marched through the streets for what they've been fighting against for more than 2 years: the construction of a high-pressure natural gas pipeline. The Texas-based company Spectra Energy recently began construction in April after putting a hold on their project in the fall of 2015. Residents are outraged and say this pipeline that will run right past their homes is dangerous and unnecessary.
We shouldn't be spending billions on new pipeline infrastructure for fossil fuels when we should be investing in renewables.
The West Roxbury Lateral Pipeline is part of a greater system of high-pressure gas pipes that travel along the East Coast, and local elected officials have been fighting to shut it down.
We appealed it. We're currently appealing it in federal court through the mayor and state rep, state senator, and the city council and congressman as well. So we're going to continue to do what we do, but this is just a reckless idea, and we want to see it stopped.
Just last week, a different natural gas pipeline was suspended. Energy company Kinder Morgan suspended further work on their pipeline that was supposed to run through northern Massachusetts. Kinder Morgan cited inadequate commitment from prospective customers, and now protesters' attention is back on the pipeline running through West Roxbury.
Now Spectra might be riding high off this victory too, thinking that they now have a monopoly over the gas industry in Massachusetts.
No way!
But boy, are they mistaken. They don't have the slightest clue what's coming for them.
To my right is the proposed location of the metering and regulating station where Spectra Energy recently began construction. Now, workers were not out here today, but community members still wanted to show their resistance. They tied hundreds of these red ribbons all across the fences surrounding the site to show Spectra that they are not giving up the fight. In West Roxbury, I'm Jeanette Origel, Suffolk News.